Well, we have joining us via Skype Angela Ambiso, the founder and CEO of InfoTrack Nigeria. We'd like to welcome you. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you.
Okay, tell us what methodology was used to arrive at some of these findings.
Right. As you probably are well aware, because of the requirements, protective requirements and behavior globally, research is not left behind, and for that reason we had to use technology to collect data. So what we've been doing in the various African countries where we operate is we've been using either physical call centers or virtual call centers. In Nigeria, because during the study, part of the time there was a lockdown, we actually built a virtual call center. So our research assistants used, our virtual call center to make calls using the vast database that we have of, respondents who represents the Nigerian population. So therefore, the methodology was computer-assisted telephone interviews.
So, looking at some of the investigations and the results, do you think that most people feel removed from the coronavirus pandemic in Nigeria?
I think yes, because, whilst you have so rightly put it, that majority of Nigerians, 66%, feel that coronavirus and the pandemic is the main issue that government should handle as a matter of priority. We also see that from the knowledge gaps, they don't feel that the virus is something that is very close to them. When you see that 4 in 10 Nigerians think that the virus is an exaggeration, and all these things that you're reporting are perhaps just myths, then it begs the question, do they really feel that it's something close to them? But even more importantly is that the finding, one of the findings that we have in the study is that an overwhelming majority, 74% of Nigerians actually believe today that the virus cannot afflict them or someone in their family. That means that for them, that is a virus that affects other people and not people close to them or themselves.
Tell us more about the demographics, especially what the awareness is when you compare the men to the women, those that might have, those that are married from those who aren't, and some of the responses.
What we see is because women are caregivers, natural caregivers, then, they have paid a lot more attention to the pandemic as a health issue as opposed to the men. Men are more risk prone, so we do see that in terms of them wanting the economy to open up, for business to go back as usual, for them saying that you can actually take a tot of vodka or a tot of brandy and you should be protected from the virus is higher from the males than we see from the females. But also because at the onset of this pandemic, we heard from the experts all over saying that young people were less susceptible to being afflicted by the virus. We also see higher risk behavior from young people who tend to think that because they're young and healthy, they're less prone to, getting the virus than one would see, people who are older and have pre-existing conditions. We also see the same with rural versus urban. In the rural areas where the pandemic is still very removed, many people are saying, do you really know anyone with this disease? And if you don't know anyone, does it really exist? So we see those demographic differences by rural urban. We see them by, gender. So females are more, concerned and more, informed. And we also see it between the youth and the older population. In fact, the older population is very concerned about the virus.
All right, hopefully this will definitely assist government in bridging the knowledge gap that exists on COVID-19. We'd like to thank you, Angela Ambitho, founder, CEO, InfoTrack Nigeria. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.